Alright, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you the ultimate condensed red-black Sabo masterclass in the current meta, which at the time of recording is EB-03. So before we get into the actual guide, I do want to give you the reasoning for why I chose to pick up red-black Sabo in the first place, and why I think this deck is going to be the best deck to learn right now. And the real reason I decided to hop on the Sabo train right now is because I fully believe that this deck will become one of, if not the best decks in the format very soon. As you guys know, we are behind the Eastern meta by a set, and they currently have access to the second half of EB-04, which is releasing for us in the East alongside OP-15 on April 3rd. And within that set, there is this 7 cost 9,000 power Zoro card that not only has Rush, but also buffs your leader by 2,000 power on play. You know, pairing that card with the Sabo's leader ability, that means that our beloved Sabo leader will be sitting at 8,000 power going into the opponent's turn. And you already know how defensive the Sabo deck is already. Like, it's got hella blockers and stuff like that, which means that red-black Sabo is going to be untouchable in the late game when that set comes. You know, of course, this is all just speculation because I don't know how the meta is going to be in the future. But from my perspective as of right now, Sabo is looking to be pretty freaking good. Also, another reason is because it's recently been announced that there are 6 new starter decks that come out in July, and one of those decks is going to be your boy Sabo. This means that there's going to be a lot of new support for red-black Sabo to stay meta relevant for like a pretty good a while. I mean, I'd assume if they're going to make a starter deck for something like that, they're not going to just make a starter deck and then the deck's going to fall off. Like, Sabo's probably going to be within the meta for a good amount of time. So picking up on this deck now, you can invest money into, you know, ulting it out and stuff, getting good at it, and then you just have to make a few card changes to update your deck as it gets better and better. But that's enough talk about the future. Let's just get into the guide for the current EB-03 format. Okay, let's start with the deck list for this deck that I've come up with. First, let's read the leader ability. You know, you got Sabo over here. It's if you have 4 or more life cards, this leader gets minus 1,000 power, and then Dawn times 1 if you have a character with the cost of 8 or more. All of your characters and leader gain plus 1,000 power. Basically, to make this easier to understand, you're a 4k power leader until you hit 3 life, and then 99% of the time, by the time you're at 3 life, you will have a character on board with 8 cost or more, and then Sabo will become basically a 6k leader when you're at 3 life. So that's pretty much Sabo's leader ability as a whole. Let's get into the rest of the deck. Starting out, we got 4 Bello Betties. Bello Betty is your 1-cost searcher. It searches the top 5 cards for revolutionary army type other than Bello Betty. Bello Betty is your searcher that can find your stage. So if you find a stage off of your Bello Betty and you know you already have your curve or something like that, you're gonna want to pick up the stage here because your other searcher Garp. Oh, actually no, Koala can pick it up too. Okay, you know that's cap. But Garp over here, your second searcher that you do run 4 of, is only going to pick up cards that are cost 3 or more. This will help you pick up your Stussies and your Rogers. Very good because these are not Rev Army type cards, so they're only searchable by Garp. So if you see something off the Garp and you kind of need that for the matchup, depending, then I'd go ahead and pick it up unless you don't have your curve and you really need something else. So yeah, running 4 Bello Betties, 4 Garps. Then for your 2Ks, I'm running 3 Koalas. A lot of people run the 6-cost hack because it is cheatable off of your Black Dragon, but I feel like having this as a 2K is better in current meta because there's a lot of like beefy stuff that you kind of want to, you know, debuff and then swing into. Like, for example, I was playing into an RG Law the other day and he got his green kid on board, and you know, as Kid's ability, you can only swing into the Kid. So it was really neat to just have this card, and then you can debuff it down to, you know, 5k, and then you just swing 5s. Or you can swing 7s, 9s, you know, something. It'll really easy to get like big body characters off the board, and then you can continue going at their face later. So I run 3 of these. If you want to run the hacks, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but I do like running these as 2Ks. Then I run 3 red dragons and 3 black dragons. A lot of people like to run 4 red and 2 black because the meta is, you know, you got to be a little bit more aggro in this meta. But I think 3 and 3 is good here. You're gonna want to see your Black Dragon into a Secret Sabo most of the time on your 8 Dawn turn. So if you don't see your Black Dragon, or like later in the game, you don't want to just play at a Secret Sabo on 10 Dawn. It's like wasting value. So having 3 Black Dragons for me is the best. I found the best, but if you want to run 4 and 2, I don't think that's a problem per se. Then we are running one Roger. A lot of people started to take the Rogers out of their decks. I still think that it's good because Emu, and sometimes if you don't see your Stussies into like Ace or Purple, Yellow, Rosinante now, there's a lot of decks that still run a lot of blockers, and sometimes it's just really good to have this Roger. I mean, majority of the matchups in games, you won't even see it, or you'll search and it'll just go to the bottom of your deck because you can't pick it up. But, you know, sometimes you're going to want to see it, and then it's also a good bluff to have in your hand. Like, some of these people won't put you down to 0 life just because they're fearing the Roger, or, you know, it's just a good bluff to have. So I like running one of these in the deck. And then you got your Koala Searcher. This is something that you'd want to search if you don't have like if you don't have a 6 cost Sabo in your trash, and you have like a dragon in your hand already, and you want to play a dragon into a Sabo, but you can't play the Sabo from your trash, you could potentially search with the Koala, pick up something else, and then the Sabo will go to the trash, because this leader looks at the top 3 cards of your deck, reveals one Nico Robin or Revolutionary Army type card other than Koala, and then you add that to your hand. But the rest of the cards that you don't pick up just get trashed. So this is good for putting stuff in trash when you need it in the trash, and then it's also just a Rev Army searcher for, you know, other cards that you might need. So I do run 3 of these. I cut it down to 3 from 4 so that I can make space for this new Koala that I fit in the deck. This is the EB-03 Koala. I'm running 4 of this because the ability of this card is just so good, which is it's on an opponent's turn, and when it gets KO'd, basically, play up to 1 character with a cost of 6 or less with the name Nico Robin, or with the Revolutionary Army type other than Koala from your hand or trash. Hand or trash is very important here. Most of the time, on their 3rd turn, if you're going 2nd, or on their 4th turn if you're going 1st, once you place this down, there'll be decks like Boa, for instance, that might have Rayleigh, and they'll be able to KO, you know, cards like this, or they might trigger something that KOs a card like this, but they won't activate that, because then you'll just play out like a better card like 6 cost Sabo from your hand or trash. So I really do like this Koala. It's also another option to play on 4 Dawn if you don't see your promo Sabos. So that is a very good buff to the deck, because on 4 Dawn, you really had nothing else to play other than your promo Sabo, and you didn't really want to play a 2K like Morley. So seeing this Koala is a very good introduction to the deck. I am running 4 of them right now. I am seeing them a lot more than I like to, so I might put this down to 3, but as of right now, this deck is working out pretty well for me, so I will keep it like this. Moving on, another 2K, Morley, just a searchable Rev Army 2K, and then if very, very rarely, but if needed, it does have the ability to gain +4 cost when it's on the field. So, you know, your leader ability, you need an 8 cost character for your ability to work, your Dawn ×1. So if you want to become a 6K leader, you don't have anything else to play, and your hand is really horrible, you can play out the Morley on 4. So, you know, it is there just in case, but you're most of the time just going to use this as a 2K, searchable as well. Moving on, we got the promo Sabo. This Sabo is probably your best card to play on 4 Dawn. Basically what it allows you to do is most of the time you'll take your first hit from the opponent and you'll be at 4 life. This card will allow you to take your next life, so that adds to your hand size for 1. And then 2, it has +4 cost, so it's 8K. 8K cost, or I mean 8K is crazy, 8 cost, so your leader ability will now start working. And then number 3 is you'll get down to 3 life and you'll become a 5K leader, and then with the buff it'll become 6K because you're allowed to give a rested card. You'll give one rested card to your leader or character, but you're going to want to choose your leader there, and then that'll buff you from a 5K base leader to a 6K, and then you'll be pretty much good to defend the next attack because you'll have a 7K blocker on turn 3, or on their turn 3. So you'll probably be able to defend anything unless they don't want to develop and just swing really big. Then at that point, like that's fine. You'd rather have them do that because then they have nothing for them to develop on board. So this is a very, very good card to see on your 4 Dawn play. Moving on, we got your 6 cost Secret Sabos. This is probably your heart of your deck. I would say you play it on 6 Dawn. If you don't see your dragons or anything on 8 Dawn, you play it on 8 Dawn. You play it on 10 Dawn. If you need to buff up again and get more blockers on field, you play it pretty much the rest of the game. It's, you know, just a 7K blocker that allows you to give a rested Dawn to your leader, and then that'll buff it to an 8K. If you have multiple of these on board, you can give multiple rested Dawns and reuse Dawns, so that once you play cards like, you know, 10 cost Roger, 8K Dragon, 8K Black Dragon, or Stussy or something like that, and you have no Dawn left over to put on your leader, you can just use this ability because it is an activate main, and there you go. Your leader is now buffed. The rest of your characters are now buffed. So running 4 of these is mandatory. I don't see a single deck list running less than 4. This is the heart of the deck. Moving on, we got even more 2Ks. These are the PRB2 secret Sabos, you're never going to really use it for its ability. I mean, its ability is if you have 15 more cards in your trash, you can give this card in your hand -3 cost. So it will become a 3 cost 6k power blocker. But it's pretty hard for you to get to 15 cards in your trash, especially when you're playing cards like Black Dragon that tells you to bottom deck 3 cards from your trash. So your trash won't build up to 15 that often, but when it does do that and you really need to get some blockers on the field, this Sabo can come in clutch. But the other reason you run this Sabo is, one, it's a 2k, you're running 4 of them, so you have more 2ks in your deck. And then 2, it is a 6 cost Rev Army card, so you can play that off of the dragon if you don't have one of these secret Sabos. So it is just another option to play off of the Black Dragon. Yeah, so moving on, we do have the Black Dragon now. One of my favorite cards in the deck. It's so much value, and you know, I really love playing the combo. On play, you may place 3 Revolutionary Army type cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order. If your leader is Revolutionary Army, play up to 1 character card with a cost of 6 or less from your trash. So this will allow you to play this out, bottom deck 3 cards, and then play, you know, any 6 cost or lower you know, card like Secret Sabo, one of these Sabos, maybe even a Searcher if you need a Searcher or something potentially. But this just gives you a lot of value. So I really do like running the Black Dragons. One thing to note here is that it does say you may place 3 Revolutionary Army type cards from your trash at the bottom of your deck in any order, but when it says you may, you kind of have to do that if you want the ability effect to play out. You could play this just out as a normal 8k 8 cost Black Dragon and don't use the ability, but if you want to cheat something out, it's not like a choice. You have to bottom deck 3 Rev Army, so make sure you have those cards in your trash before you play it out. I've made that mistake when I started the deck. Not very fun. Moving on, 3 Stussies. Stussy, very needed in this current meta. Allows you to remove big bodies like Blocker Beard, you know, stuff like that you need to get rid of, and it just, you know, like kids and stuff like that. You know, there's a lot of stuff that you just want to get rid of. You got to run your Stussies. It isn't searchable by anything except Garp, so, you know, pick it up by Garp if you need it for your matchup. The only advice I'd say for Stussy. Maybe Mulligan into it if it's like a very needed matchup like Ace or something. Yeah, Stussy, very important card. Running 3 of the Waxing Fists. This is basically just a 4k for 1 cost. You leave 1 Dawn up at the end and you get a plus 4k, because like 99% of the time you will have a character with a cost of 8 or more on the field, because all of your characters, even though they're 4 cost, they'll have like an ability that says plus 4 cost. You can buff this plus 2 cost. You know, this is like pretty much the only card that isn't going to be, but you're going to have something else on the field that's 8 cost at the time. So, you know, one cost, 1 Dawn, and you get 4k, very good card. Running 3 of these, and then your stage, your 1 cost stage. This is one of the best cards in the deck if you can find it early in the game. If you find it early in the game, you can basically trash all the cards that you won't need for a certain matchup or all of your bricks and just replace it with 2Ks. So all these Sabos, so you play Sabo on 4 Dawn, you draw into another Sabo, you're never going to need that Sabo ever again, because you're not going to want to take another life. And then there's just other cards that are better to play. You just pop the ability, trash the card you don't need, and then you can draw into another 2K or something else that'll help you out with your next curve. This is really nice to find on turn 1. If you are running the even curve and you do see perfect curve after that, it is kind of hard to find a turn to play it on. So, you know, you're playing it on 4 Dawn, you're going to want to play this Sabo. You're not going to really want to play this. On 6 Dawn, you're going to be wanting to play the Secret Sabo. On 8 Dawn, you're going to be wanting to play this dragon or this dragon. On 10 Dawn, maybe a Stussy or another dragon. So it is really hard to find a time to play this if you have perfect curve. But for those times where you have this in hand, and let's say you don't see your Black Dragon on 8 Dawn, or you don't see a Stussy on 10 Dawn, or you don't have a Secret Sabo on 6 Dawn, or you double draw into a Sabo like this, you could just play out the stage and then look for something else that'll help your hand out. And this can just remove all of the bricks from your hand and make your hand really buff. So that's the deck list as a whole. You know, we'll move on to the next part of the guide. Okay, so now that we've finished going over the deck list, I want to go over the curve. It's very simple for Sabo. You're pretty much always going to want to take second. Second is way better for your curve because most of your cards are even Dawn curve. You'll see Secret Sabo 6, you know, Promo Sabo's 4, Black Dragon's 8, Red Dragon's an 8, you know, Roger's a 10. A lot of the stuff in your deck that you're going to want to see is an even Dawn curve stuff. So taking second in pretty much every matchup is what you're going to want to do. You know, turn 1, you're just going to want to play your Searchers or a Rev Army stage. Your Searchers, you know, help you find stuff later in the curve that you don't have, and then your stage will help you search that turn as well, and then also, you know, make your hand perfect. It will literally take out everything you don't need and add stuff that you do need. So turn 1, you want to play your Searchers or your stage. Turn 2, you'll be at 4 Dawn. You'll want to play your Promo Sabo. That will allow you to become a 6k leader ASAP, plus get a 7k blocker on board, and then you'll just be able to put up a lot of pressure. So promo Sabo is gonna be the first thing you're gonna want to play on 4 Dawn. If you don't have that, the EB-03 Koala, the new one, is another option to play on 4 Dawn. This one I like a little bit less when going even because you won't get the buff on your leader because you won't have an extra Dawn to place on your leader, so you don't get the buff, and then you don't have a blocker, and you're already down to 3 life. So if they swing really big, you'll go down to 2 really early. But most of the time, it is pretty okay to play the new Koala on your 4 Dawn turn. They'll probably just end up developing something else for their board, and then you can just counter out of whatever swing they throw at you. So EB-03 Koala is pretty decent here on turn 2. And then if you don't have either of those, then you just go back down to what you were playing on turn 1, search for more stuff, maybe find a Rev Army, and fix your hand. So that's what you're going to want to do in turn 2. Turn 3, you're going to want to play the Secret Sabo, the 6-cost Sabo. This will allow you to, use the ability, activate main, put 1 Rested Dawn on your leader. Now your whole board is buffed. You become a 6k base power with the 1 Dawn, so you'll be able to swing 7 into 5. They'll probably take if they do end up countering out. That's 2 cards out of hand. Then you swing 7k again with your blocker Sabo, and you're just putting a lot of pressure on, and they won't really be able to touch you on the following turn because now your Secret Sabo is an 8k blocker. So it's really hard for them to get around that. So very, very good to play Secret Sabo. If you don't see your Secret Sabo on 6, then just play what you played on turn 2, either another promo Sabo, which I like less. If you have an EB-03 Koala and you don't have and you already have a promo Sabo on board, just play the Koala. You don't want to really use the on play ability when you're at 3 life already and take another life. And then the Koala just prevents your board from getting wiped. If they have something to remove something from the board, your Koala won't be touched because you'll just play something out from hand or trash. So I like playing that out. And if you don't have either of those, then you just go back searching for stuff to fix your hand. So turn 3 is Secret Sabo. If you don't have those, then your turn 2 plays, and if you don't have those, then turn 1 plays. On turn 4, you're going to be on 8 Dawn. Hopefully by now, you can somehow get a Secret Sabo in your trash and 3 other Rev Army type cards, and you can play the infamous 8-cost Dragon combo. So you play the 8-cost Dragon, and that will cheat out a 6-cost blocker Sabo, and then that'll allow you to use the effects and put a Dawn on leader, and then your whole board gets buffed again, and everything just falls into place. You'll have a really nice board, a lot of things on board that are high power, high cost, and it's going to be really hard for them to get around having blockers and 6k leader. And then if you had a stage from earlier in the turn, you might be trashing all of your non-counter stuff, and you'll have a handful of 2Ks. And then from here, you're in a really, really good spot. Your turn 5 play after that, when you're at 10 Dawn, it really just depends on the game state. If they've somehow taken out your blockers, you might just want to blocker up, put another 6-cost Sabo on the field. If you don't have a reason to play any blockers out, you could play Rush Dragon, just put a lot of pressure. If you're playing into something that they put like a 9-cost Mihawk or maybe even 7-cost Shanks, if that gets annoying, you can just play out a Stussy, remove it. There's a lot of things you can do on your 10 Dawn turn. You could even just put Searchers, trying to find other stuff that you don't have in your deck yet. Maybe you want to triple blocker up again. Then yeah, just it depends on the game state and how you want to finish the game out versus save your game if you're in a really bad spot. But that's pretty much the curve as a whole. You're going to want to go second every time, so that's pretty much how you're going to play it. But if you are to lose a dice roll or whatever you do to determine who goes first or second, when you go first, it's literally the exact same thing as if you go second, except you're going to be 1 turn behind. So instead of being able to play Promo Sabo on turn 2 on 4 Dawn, you're going to have to wait till your next turn to do that because you're going to be a turn behind. And yeah, your first turn curve, if you're going first, your curve is really not as great as if you're going second, but it is manageable. You just gotta play a little bit smarter. Make sure you take life when you need to take life. Don't take life when you don't need to take life. You will catch up when you get to your 6th Dawn, or not 6, I guess it'll be 7, and you get that Secret Sabo on the field and you'll have a blocker. You're pretty much set from there as long as you have what you need for the rest of the game. But it is a little bit worse than going second. The only thing that I would change if you do end up going first versus if you're going second is on your turn on 5 Dawn. What I would recommend doing in certain matchups, I would recommend playing the new EB-03 Koala on 5 Dawn, and then you can use that leftover Dawn to play it on your leader to get yourself to buffing your board and your leader. Because the reason you play Sabo on 4 is because it does have the ability to use Arrested Dawn, put on your leader, and then you can get that buff. But if you don't really want to take a life unless you have to, if you're already at 3 life and you're already a 5k leader, don't play a blocker Sabo out. I mean, it's okay to do it. I'm not saying don't do it, but I find in some matchups you're going to want to just play the Koala out because on the next turn they might have something that can remove like a Red Rock, or they might be playing Silver Israelian Boa, or they might trigger something in Yellow Luffy that they can remove. You know, there's a lot of stuff now that you just don't want to see. So if you want to like protect your board so that you have another swing the next turn, I'd recommend on going first on 5 Dawn, just playing the EB-03 Koala, unless, you know, you don't have it in hand, or depending on the matchup, you want to block her up. That's like the only reason I'd play the Sabo there. But other than that, just follow your second. If you're going second, follow that curve on first, just going to be 1 turn behind. Okay, so that is the curve guide. We'll move on to the Mulligan guide now. The only thing you're going to really want to kind of quote unquote mulligan for on a matchup dependent basis would be Stussy, and that's basically just for the decks that don't really have removal protection and they have big body characters. That includes Mihawk, because they'll have the 9-cost Mihawk or their Lon Beppos. If you play into Roger, they will have their Purple Roger and their Shanks characters. UP Luffy, they will have their own Purple Roger, they'll have Sanjis, they'll have Mihawks, and then for Ace, they'll have their Blocker Beards. So those are the only decks that you kind of want to see your Stussies if you can. That way you don't have to rely on searching for them. But it is very important that you understand that your curve for Sabo is much more important than finding the Stussies. If you do see a Stussie in hand when facing one of these decks, but the rest of your hand is horrible and there's no curve, it's definitely in your interest to mulligan that and find your curve. This also goes vice versa, where if you see a perfect curve in your hand, I would never mulligan that for a Stussie. Sabo is so good when seeing perfect curve. You probably can just find your other pieces later if need be, but if you don't, seeing perfect curve is more than often it's enough to beat these decks. You're just gonna have so much pressure and so much defense that you're probably gonna be able to beat these decks even without your Stussies. Now, that being said, I want to talk about the matchups and what you're currently good into, decent into, and not that great into in the EB-03 format as of right now. Sabo does love to see red blue Ace, green Mihawk, purple Doflamingo, and blue purple Luffy. Those decks are very, very good for Sabo because they don't really rely on having a lot of pressure till late game. You kind of cheat out stuff and get a really good board before they can do anything to you. So you're pretty good there. And then if you do see your Stussies on them, you just auto win. Like, they place down 9-cost Mihawk, you just Stussie it. They have no big body on board, and you just keep putting pressure. UP Luffy, same thing. You just Stussie their purple Rogers. For Doflamingo, you don't play Stussie because they have removal protection with Virgo, but you just have too much big bodies and you're too wide for them. You know, those decks, Ace especially, Sabo just kills their Blocker Beard. So, you know, very, very good to see when you match up against those. For the even matchups, you're okay into blue yellow Nami. You're good into green Bonnie. You're pretty decent, fair matchup. Black Croc and blue yellow Boa. All of those pretty even matchup. If you don't end up taking second and you go first, it is a little harder to beat those decks, but it is doable. And then if you do take second, you are probably slightly favored, but it is still pretty even. You could lose the matchup. Just play a good card game and you'll be fine. And then for the rough matchups, that is going to be yellow Luffy and black Emu, as well as red blue Vivi. But that's assuming that they do take second from you. If you take second from them, I think it is a very, very winnable matchup, and maybe even favored if you're Sabo. Because Sabo's going second, their curve, if they see the stuff they need, it's just too good. So that's pretty much it for the gist of this deck. I've gone over a little bit of everything. I think that the best way to learn deck is to see games, so we will now move on to the game portion of this video. Okay, here we are into blue yellow Nami, arguably the best deck in format right now. We will choose to go second, of course, because we can. And we do see a stage into a promo Sabo into 6-cost, so we're seeing really good curve here. We will keep this. Is the Roger going to be necessary this matchup? I don't think he'll play more than one Blocker Beard. Okay, so we will stage, search for, we already have our next turn plays, we'll just take a 2K here, and then we'll pass. Okay, he plays the girl promo out. It's going to allow him to reuse a Dawn every turn. Okay, he swings 7, it's fine. We want to take this, that way we can play our Sabo and become a 6k leader with a 7k blocker on turn 2. Take bottom life. Swing 7. Yeah, give me 2 cards out of hand. Okay. Okay, he gave me 2k, 1k, so his ability was like useless there. We'll trash one of these Sabos so that it can get in our trash early. And we will take a dragon. We have a good amount of counter already. We don't really need to grab any 2Ks. I'm liking this. He plays another. Okay. only 3 cards in hand at the moment. We'll search for this, and then he'll probably get another one when he takes life. So he'll get his hand size back up, but we love to see 3 cards in hand turn 2 right now. Okay, he does draw the 8 cost Gecko Moria. Okay, so he does have something to play late game right now, and he's just gonna swing really big. I don't mind taking this life. That's fine by me. Okay, 6 Dawn. You know, just follow curve. Play this Sabo out. Do this. Swing 7. He probably end up taking. He doesn't really want to use all his counter. He countered out his last one. I mean, I'm fine with him taking. Okay, he might counter this one. Okay, 3 cards in hand that I'm fine with. Oh no, before we do that, let's stage. We'll stage the Roger. If you end up putting Blocker Beard, we have the Stussy to get rid of it. And then we'll take this. Perfect. Look at that, guys. Now we have our 8 cost turn. We'll just play this into a Secret Sabo. We will need to get more Revolutionary Army cards in trash. So if he swings, we do need a double counter or something like that. Because we need to get 3 Rev Army other than the one we want to play out. Oh, and he doesn't swing. Okay, so we won't be able to play out the Black Dragon this turn. Even if we stage and trash something, that's only 2 Rev Army. So we will have to go for something else this turn. We could Red Dragon, put a lot of pressure on. We could search for another Secret Sabo. Play 2 Secret Sabos. That's probably the best thing I could do right now. But if I end up not finding anything off of that, then I won't be able to play the Dragon. But then I could just play a Koala. I'm fine with playing Koala here. Though we won't be able to get rid of my board. Okay, yeah, we do find it though. Play this out. Ability. So what are our numbers here? 7, 8, 8. Okay, he does end up countering out of the first one. Okay, this should go through. So he wants to give me his whole hand. And then this should go through. Okay, he's 2 life, 4 cards in hand. We potentially might even have lethal next turn. Yeah, he's giving me a 2k for this. I don't think this is the move for you guys. You gotta keep counter in hand, bro. Okay, and then we'll get rid of one of these Stussies to find another 2k. And we'll end turn. Pudding here would be very nice for him if he can find a pudding. Oh shit. Okay, we'll counter out. Nope, he's gonna play it first. Okay, 2k, 1k, 1k, blocker, 2 life. I think we're fine. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just give you a 1k here. Do we let this go? No, because then he'll swing 9, and then I won't be able to get... I mean, I will, but I think we free block. Yeah, he can have that. Okay, let's try to do something here. Okay, we'll definitely stage for the stage, because we don't need 2 stages. Okay, so we could triple Sabo here. I'm not in a threat of dying, though. With 2 blockers on the field. I could just take the 2k to protect my field. I think that's just the better play here. Yeah. I think we just take a 2k. We could search. We do see 8 cost dragon. Okay, so do we Stussy or dragon here? If we Stussy, what would we remove? Remove this. He just has no play, right? And then the next turn he dies. I mean, we will take a life if we remove this, because it'll KO and then we take a life. But we have 2 blockers, another life, 2k, 2k, 1k in hand. I think that's fine. I think we just play this out. And then we'll save the red dragon for the lethal on the next turn. So we'll do that. Trash this. Get rid of that. We take that. And then we will ability. So we can buff our board. So we'll just swing. Actually, no. We'll swing here. Okay, yeah. and we'll pass. There's no reason to throw our blockers. I mean, if he has it, he has it. If he doesn't have it, he doesn't have it. So we'll just leave it up. I'm pretty confident we can get him on the next turn with this. 6 counter. Free block. We'll counter this one. Okay, so what could he potentially do? Robin. Okay, heals to 2, but 3 cards in hand. Doesn't matter. We're fine. Free block. Okay. All right, now we're at 10. Yeah, there's really nothing to do. We'll just play this out. We'll put 2 on our Garp. That way we can get a swing out of our Garp. Because when we do this, now we have our buff. So this is 5. It doesn't really matter if we swing anything lower than 7 because his leader ability will just get him to 7. So we'll just do that. So we'll swing 9 now. We'll swing 9 again. Okay, he gets to search. 1k. Swing 10. Yeah, and that's enough. So you see, it is pretty good into Nami if you do end up going second. Yeah, pretty good. You just, block her up and lock in. All right, next game. Here we are playing into Red Blue Ace. Red Blue Ace did win the Vegas finals here in America. So this is also what people might consider best deck in format right now. He's going second, which is not good for us, but we are Sabo, and we do see Roger. And I'm inclined to keep this, but just for the sake of finding searchers for our first turn play, we will do this, and then we'll find a Stussy. Perfect. Stussy is really good into Ace because any blocker beard he just puts out we'll be able to get rid of. Hopefully we can find Stage. We don't need 2 black dragons, and then we can fix our hand for the rest of the game with Stage. But, we'll see how this goes. Draws a Jozu. Okay. Well, it isn't base cost, so he won't be able to really return any of my characters other than the puny ones. Okay, and then he Garp searches. Draws a Marco. Okay, we have nothing to play this turn. I think we just swing big here. Swing 7 into 6. See if he gives us a 2k, or he doesn't have an effect. Yeah, he actually probably will counter this because he doesn't have a Dawn on leader. Okay, pass. Okay, we'll take this. And then he plays out a blocker. Alright, what I will do is first I'll search. Hopefully I can... Oh no. I want to find Stage. Maybe we can take it from life. No, we do not. Do I swing 8 here? Or do I search for like a secret Sabo or something? I'll swing 7. He doesn't have a Dawn on leader, so he'll probably give me another 2k. Unless he wants to block for the Marco, which I'm fine with. Okay, he gives me another 2k, which I'm fine with. And then we'll search maybe secret Sabo. Yeah. See, I want the Stage, but Garp can't pill it, so we'll take the Sabo. The Stage would be really nice though. And also now that he's on 6 Dawn, he can play at that Jozu, but it doesn't push back base cost. So I meant not base cost. It only does normal cost, not base cost. So this Sabo is protected because it is 8. He does putting us. I am fine with that actually. We got we got stuff we wanted. And we're going into 7, so we will be able to Sabo and Stage in the same turn. So, we'll trigger this. Okay, we find a Stussy. That's actually really good in the Ace matchup. So, fine here. Only 1 2k in hand. We will Stage. Pop the other Stage. Do we take a dragon? No, we need counter kind. Not really though. With this and then another blocker. The thing is, he's putting me with 3 of these in hand, so they're back in my deck. I'll probably be able to find this later. We'll take the Bella Betty just in case we need to do something with it later, and then we'll just play this out. And then we'll swing 7. Okay, now he actually might take life because he has a Dawn on his leader, so he'll get double draw from it. Oh, he ends up just blocking with the Marco, which I'm completely fine with. Okay, and then he gives me leader ability. We'll pass. Okay, so he has 2 2Ks and a 1K in trash. He's gonna red rock. Okay, I'm fine with that. And then he can swing 8. 8 is a good number for him to swing, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to really give him 2K, 1K. Yeah, I'll probably just go down to 1 if he swings 8 here. If he swings 6, 6, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. 6, I'll definitely counter at least this one. Do I really want to go down to 0 counter in hand? I don't really have anything for this Stussy to take out next turn. We will be able to stage and find something, hopefully, though. And then we do have already 3 Rev Army cards, and we'll take this. It is what it is. Okay, we see a Roger. Not really what we need. We'll get this out so we don't see anything crazy here. We'll take a 2K, I guess. And then, do we play this out? Try to find a secret Sabo. Try to find a something. Okay. I was getting a little worried here. So this is 4 and a 4. Okay, lets it go. We'll swing. Doesn't have any Dawn on leader, so he won't get double draw for this, so he'll have to give me another 2K. Or take life, which I'm hoping he does. Because then we'll swing 8. Okay, well, we'll still swing 8. Okay, he's used a good amount of 2Ks. Oh, he does want to counter to this one as well. 3 cards in hand, I'm fine with that. And he doesn't have any characters he can really swing into me with other than his, leader, which isn't a character, by the way, but if he wants to play I'm Whitebeard here, that's okay with me. If he wants to play Blocker Beard, that is fine with me. He just goes for the Red Rock again. Okay. We're just going to swing really big. We'll counter it if he does. We can't go down to 0. Maybe he plays a Marco if he has a Marco in hand. He's just going to swing 8. We have to counter this. Yeah, you can swing into my Garp, that's fine. This is a really weird game. Okay, we still don't have any secret Sabos in trash. I don't really want to play this Black Dragon out without doing that. We will get rid of the Roger. At this point, what is even worth it? I think we just take the searcher and search for something else. Okay, yeah, we find this. We'll just swing into this. We'll swing lead. We'll just keep our blockers up. We could swing 8 low-key. That was low-key wrong numbers. We'll keep one of our blockers up. He doesn't have any characters he can swing us with. We might even just have lethal next turn with Red Dragon. This is a really weird game, I'm not gonna lie. I hope he just plays a Blocker Beard or something, because I'll just be able to Stussy and then he's just done from there. Yeah, we'll just block just in case he has a Roger. We don't want to go down to 0. And then, oh, okay. Well, you can Roger, but that Roger's gone. I'm just gonna Stussy it. I could even just Black Dragon at this point, but I feel like it's just more worth. Yeah, we'll just that. Get rid of Black Dragon for 2K. Then we'll swing 7 lead. 2 cards in hand. We'll swing 7 again. I still have a life. He can't really play anything that would kill me because I have 2 2Ks, some 6, so. Okay, 1 card in hand for him. See what he draws into. Even rush ace I don't think is enough, because I'll just be able to counter. Okay, blocker beards. I'm just gonna swing into this. Okay, we'll counter. No, oh my god, we just see another Stussy. Yeah, this guy just needs to concede. We'll even, no, we'll keep the dragon. Okay, let's see if he can stall one more turn. I don't think he can, but we'll see. Carp. We're gonna find out on Whitebeard. Nope, just that. But you don't even have 10 Dawn. Oh, there we go. Round table. Sure. Actually, we could even just block 2k. I mean, it doesn't really matter. He's just dead here. Just go 8, put 2 here. So we'll start with an 8k swing. Go 10. We'll go 10. We'll go 12. And that is GG's. Yeah, this was a really odd game from the ace, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, maybe that is the method, because ace is really bad into Sabo. So maybe just red rocking while you have the chance to get rid of my blockers and then swinging into me might be the play. Because if he putting me and I didn't draw into 2 of the Stussies, he might have actually had like a decent chance of coming back there. Just the Stussies are so important in this matchup. But, you know, I don't know. You never know. You never know. Maybe that wasn't the play, but you know, pretty good game into ace. Okay, here we are playing into blue yellow boa. Still very good deck in the format. We will want to take second, however, and we do see stage. I like seeing stage first turn. We do see a pretty decent curve. Hopefully, we can find a secret Sabo or something like that. But we do see a turn 2 play, turn 3 play, and a turn 4 play. I mean, it's not the greatest cards to play on those turns, but we might be able to fix that up. We'll ditch the red dragon for now. We'll take a black dragon. Maybe that'll come in handy in the future. Okay, just gonna put something here. Probably gonna be like a Gorgon Sisters or something like that. Okay, 4 Dawn. We just play this. Take a life. Well, actually, we'll do this first. We don't really need Stussy. Find this for next turn. Okay, this is going pretty good now. Yep, there's the Gorgon Sisters. I do have a 7k blocker though, and I'm fine with taking another hit because then I'll become a 6k leader. So I'm not really that mad about that. Okay, he reveals 2k, 2k, 1k, and then 3 unknown cards. Another Gorgon Sisters in hand. Okay, he's just gonna swing 7. We'll become a 6k leader. No, we'll keep this in hand. And then we'll just block this and give him a 1k. Okay, stage, get rid of the other stage. Can't even pick up any of those. All our Garp's gone in 1 hit. Okay, it's fine though. At least we have this. We'll swing into Gorgon Sisters. We really don't want a Gorgon Sisters on the field because that'll make all his 5k characters 6ks if he just keeps revealing those. It'll buff it to 1. It'll buff it +1, and then 6k is like a really good number to swing into Sabo. So we'll get that off the field while we can. He takes. Okay, so he's loaded up on counter in his hand. I know he had 2 2Ks earlier, and he just probably drew more. Gravity Blade. I don't think that works, gang. I don't think that works. It doesn't do base cost. Yeah, man, you just concede. Oh, you love to see it. You love to see yellow deck players think that they can just get away with everything. And he was playing Borsalino. That's EB-04, buddy. That's not EB-03. Here we are into the Mihawk matchup. We will want to take second here, even though his curve is first. Our curve is more important. We do secret sub, but we do have a turn 2 play, turn 3 play, and Stussy. I think we'll keep this. Stussy is really good in the Mihawk matchup as well. We don't have anything to play turn 1, unless we draw into it, but I think that's fine here. So we'll see what we can do. Okay, we draw into nothing. We'll just pass. Okay, so as of right now, we will be just playing Koala into Secret Sabo, and then we'll see what we can do from there. Okay, he does have the Supernova package, I'm assuming. Okay, so he's playing the laws as well in the deck. Take this. Okay, we find nothing really crazy here. Okay, another one of these events. We'll just swing into this, and then we'll play out the Koala. We'll pass. Okay, so he's gonna play out his Perona. That's gonna not allow my Koala to, actually, is it base cost or cost of 5 or not? Okay, so that actually doesn't work because it's not base cost. So he just played that out as a body, I'm assuming, because he had nothing else to play. It won't work on the Koala since it does have +4 cost. Okay, he will rest his Perona, and then I'm assuming just swing 8 into me. 7's enough. He's got that. Okay, we do see another one of these Sabos. 6 Dawn. Okay, we're seeing a lot of duplicates here. If we find a stage, that'll help. But, you know, we're just going to follow our curve. We'll swing into this Perona. That way he doesn't have like a free thing to rest next turn to get 3 Dawn back. And then we'll swing at lead. And we'll pass. Okay, we have nothing in our trash, so even if we find a black dragon, playing that on 8 isn't going to work unless we double counter or something like that. But I'm not doing that. Actually, don't even have any counter except this 2k in hand. Okay, so we potentially might red dragon next play, or just another secret Sabo and block her up. Okay, takes this Perona back, plays out this. Okay, now this actually can be frozen because this doesn't have a cost limitation. Okay, and then he searches. And he passes. Okay, we have multiple Sabos. Okay, we have a lot of duplicates in hand. Okay, I guess we'll just play it out. Or maybe we even just rush dragon and then swing into his Bonnie. Try to get as few characters on field. I'm not really worried about blocking up right now. I might just do that. Next turn we'll Stussy. Yeah, I actually do. I do like that as a play. Swing 8. Lets it go. Okay, then we swing 9 life, 10 life. And he has no Dawn up, so I'm assuming he will take both of these. Okay, now he's down to 2 life, and he doesn't really have any threats on board. If he's now at 9 Dawn, so he could play Mihawk or something like that. But that's why we had our Stussy from the beginning, while we kept our hand. Alright, Shanks, same thing. I'm just gonna KO Shanks. He's not gonna have any threats on field anymore. Okay, he's gonna rest his Bonnie Searcher. The only thing is we don't have counter here, really, but we'll see what he does. Okay, yeah, we'll save hopefully he just swings life here instead of my character. Okay, yeah, we'll take this. Okay, now we're starting to find counter. 2Ks in hand, but first, before we do that, put this here and swing lead. Because I'm gonna have to trash a character from you to be able to KO his Shanks. And I don't wanna get no value out of it. So we'll do this. I guess we'll just swing at his board now, try to give him no searches. Maybe he doesn't have so many cards in hand, so we'll swing 8 into the law. That's 2k, 1k if he wants to give it up. Okay, so he is gonna give me 2k, 1k. Okay, now he's down to 5 cards in hand, 2 life. Okay, now he will be able to law on Beppo, and I won't have a Stussy to take it out, but I'm fine with that. Okay, or Mihawk. It's fine. Okay, he's gonna rest the Mihawk so my Stussy can't do anything next turn. Okay, 6 lead, we'll just give him 2k. Wait, so he's using all his Dawn here? Okay, yeah, he can have that. It's fine. We do have Dawn. If we have a lot of counter if we end up leaving Dawn in the end. If he doesn't want to use his DMG though, that will be a problem, but I don't know, we'll block her up or something, so I think we're fine regardless here. Maybe we find another Stussy and we just destroy him. Okay, now we do see Garp. We could Garp search, find a Stussy, and then play the Stussy out, take out that Mihawk. I am okay with that as a plan. Oh my god, it's just going beautifully, isn't it? And then we'll just swing. We'll just swing lead here and then leave our blocker up. Or maybe we swing with our blocker because he'll law and Beppo. No, we don't do that. We don't risk it. We only have 1k, 2k in hand. Okay, he just concedes. Here we are into the yellow Luffy matchup. We actually are not favored at all into yellow Luffy, but I will show you that if we go second, we actually can win this game. I mean, even going first, there's a chance you win, but I'll show you that it's definitely winnable going second. We're gonna keep this. We do see a promo Sabo into secret Sabo with another secret Sabo to spare for trash, especially because we do have the stage. So we will do that. We'll trash one of them. We'll just take a 2k for now. We'll pass. Okay, he's just gonna swing 6. We'll take. He's leaving 2 up for his flaming dragon if he has it in hand. It could be a bluff though, so we'll see. I don't know, we probably won't swing into him this turn, but we'll see what we do here. Okay, dragon, or not dragon, Roger, I don't know, is Roger gonna be that useful? Okay, well first we'll play this out, just to see what we get from life. Yeah, we're gonna have to ditch the Roger right now. And we'll just take another 2k. Alright, we'll entertain this. We'll see if he has the flaming dragon. Okay, he doesn't. Yeah, I know a lot of yellow Luffys who just take him out of their deck, but leave the 2 up just for bait so that we don't swing at him. See how this ends up playing out. Okay, so plays the Nami on curve. We're down to 2 life already, so this is a little scary. He doesn't swing there because our Sabo would just be a free block. So that's the reason he doesn't swing. Okay, now we're at 6. This is just a Sabo play. We will pitch one of these. Okay, we find our black dragon. Okay, so next turn we have our 8 Dawn play. We do need to get another 2 Rev Army cards in trash, so. Okay, we'll see if we can set this up. Okay, so for 6, this first. I don't want to give him 2k, 1k for no reason, you know. Okay, he's just gonna play the ramen, and he probably won't. We'll stage though, so we will have it actually. I don't know why I was tweaking. Yeah, we can just stage and pitch one of them and get it into the trash. Okay, so what do we want to pitch here? Pitch the Bello Betty. We'll take this, I guess. And then we'll just play the Black Dragon. Bottom these 3, play out this. Use their abilities, and we'll just be able to swing. 8. There's 7. Takes that one as well. Swing 8 again. 2 2Ks. Okay, and then we'll pass. So he's already given us an okay amount of counter. I'm not mad about the amount of counter he's used. Okay, he is searching here. He revealed another 2k, so he probably might be running a little low on counter in his hand right now. Okay, so that doesn't do anything. Swings 8 here. We'll just give him... We'll give him the block and a 1k. That way he has to commit Dawn to one of these guys if he wants to swing good enough power. See, so that's fine. I'm fine with giving him a 2k. And then he has 7 left over. Maybe another Robin if he has it. Yep. Okay, so we're at 10 here. Are we ever going to be able to play this Stussy out? I might just pitch Stussy, find a Sabo again. Maybe I pitch the Dragon, find something, and then play the Stussy out. Could KO this and then just leave my blockers up. I don't think he'll be able to penetrate. Could do that. Yeah, we'll pitch the Black Dragon. we'll take a 2k. And then we'll just, maybe we just do like dawn distribution and swing pretty good numbers. Do some numbers here. Okay, so we'll start with the 7k swing. Actually, no, we can definitely afford to go 9. We'll start with 9. Okay, he takes, gets a searcher, reveals 9 cost Bonnie, so we do have to be careful here. Yeah, we need to set up like a next turn lethal or something like that. We need to set up next turn lethal. Okay, we'll swing 9 again. Okay, so he is going for the counter on this. That gets him to 8, and then he'll still have to give me a 2k. Okay, that might be all the counter from his hand, Loki. I remember he picked this counter up last turn. 2 life and a blocker plus all this counter in hand and maybe a dawn up. That's definitely enough to survive. I think we just swing with both of these guys. Okay, so he's at 7. We'll go 9 again. And then we'll go 11. And then we'll leave our last Sabo up. Okay, so we should have a potential lethal next turn. Okay, he revealed unblockable. Okay, so he does have unblockable now, so we do need to win on the next one. He's just gonna go for life here, so I think we're chilling. Okay, he plays out the Bonnie, which is fine by me. And he finds us the red dragon. Okay. Yeah, we are more than chilling right now. Yeah, he decided to pivot towards board because he knows that he won't be able to kill me this turn. And this is where he realizes that he probably lost. And I don't even need a block. I just... Okay, yeah, now he realizes that he is cooked. Just play this. Use these. We'll start with the 7k swing. We'll use these 2 Dawn to make these guys 9ks. Okay, so he does counter out. Swing 9. Okay, and then we'll just swing bigger here. 12. Should be game. GG's. So yellow Luffy is very winnable. I mean, it does help for us to go second here. Even going first, it is a lot harder to win because he just has perfect curve and he'll just be able to literally take your life down to 0 and then swing unblockable if need be. But you see, if you go second and you find your curve like I did, it's just too strong.